Hello, and welcome to Story Time with the Family Gorgeous. With me, Cheddar Gorgeous. I hope you're all sitting comfortably and ready for a very exciting tale. Today I'll be reading Jaime, written and illustrated by Olly, Pike. Chapter 1. Once upon a time in an old dusty house lived Jaime. Jaime was very handy. She was great at fixing things and could make almost anything from the little that she had. But her older, meaner brothers would often take advantage of this. "Fix my car," they'd moan. "Mend my motorbike," it would go on. "Haven't you done it yet?" they often could be heard screaming. Jaime would be expected to do all this and more. She had to clean the house, prepare the meals, and sew up all the holes in her brothers' stinky socks. It wasn't pleasant living with them at all. What made it worse was that her brothers had a fairy godmother who could grant them wishes. "We want new outfits," her brother would demand. "Give us the coolest shoes," the other would say. "We want more stuff," they'd both shout. And every time, just like that, their fairy godmother would give them exactly what they wanted. Jaime once asked if she could make a wish too. It didn't go down well. "You make a wish?" the fairy godmother would laugh. "But look at you, dressed in rags, covered in dust. I can't grant wishes to people like you." This had made Jaime very sad, for she had only ever wanted to wish for one thing. She wished that she could feel right, because she didn't. She didn't feel right at all, not in her body, that is. You see, how Jaime felt inside didn't match up with what she saw in the mirror. And oh, how she wished it could. Jaime had asked for her brother's help. If she could maybe wear their old clothes, and if they could help to cut her hair the way that she wanted, but "You're not having any of my clothes," screamed one of the brothers. "And don't even think about using my scissors," unfairly scolded the other. It wasn't an easy life for Jaime, but it was the one that she had. However, Jaime wasn't completely alone. Her friends, the mice, were very kind and helpful. They loved her, and they always would. Chapter 2. It was a chilly afternoon. Snow covered the ground and Jaime was inside, busy fixing the fireplaces, when "They're here! They're here!" squealed one of Jaime's brothers. "Invitations to the royal ball, and it's tonight!" "Oh, how wonderful," said the other. "A night of dancing and dining, laughing and waving, and a chance to meet the princess." How exciting! Jaime joined in. She had heard much about the palace, the princess, and though few and far between, the royal balls. "What?" shrieked the pair. "I wouldn't think for 1 minute that you would be attending tonight's ball, Jaime," one brother said cruelly. "But why ever not?" Jaime asked. "It looks like we're all invited." "Yes, we're all invited to the royal ball, but there's nothing royal about you," one brother said in the most wicked way. "Ha ha! Yes, what would you wear to the royal ball?" the other brother cut in. "You have no nice clothes, your hair is very messy, and you're always covered in dust or grease or grime." "Or cinders," the fairy godmother now joined in. And the brothers began to laugh nastily. In fact, they laughed all evening as they got ready, all the while having their every wish granted. Once again, Jaime was left feeling very sad. "I guess my brothers are right," she thought, as she watched them ride off towards the palace. Or are they? Jaime suddenly felt a feeling deep inside rising up. It was like a fire in her tummy. "What am I doing standing for this? This is not fair. I should be allowed to attend the royal ball too. I was invited after all." And with that, Jaime started to plan. "Okay," she thought, "what do I need? Transportation. I need to get there, and I must have some nice clothes. Oh, and a disguise. To trick my brothers. Jaime smiled. She knew what she wanted. Now, to make it happen. She went out into the garden and found the biggest pumpkin she could. All it needed was a few modifications and it would make a great ride. After a lot of hard work, Jaime had a roaring pumpkin car to drive to the ball in. It was incredible, one of a kind. Perfect, what next? Oh, yes. Jaime dashed upstairs and found an old piece of material that belonged to her. She carefully started to fold neatly and rip the material. It was tricky without any scissors, but before long she had sewn together a very smart suit. Jaime tried it on. It fitted just fine, and Jaime felt great. Admiring her reflection, she thought, right, one last thing. I need a disguise. What can I do? And just then, she felt her trouser leg being tugged. It was her friends, the mice. They were holding her brother's scissors. Oh, thank you, little mice, but I'm not allowed to use them. My brother made it very clear, Jaime said defeatedly. The mice continued to tug, and as they did, Jaime felt that feeling in her tummy once more. It was like fire. Jaime spoke. Ah! But he didn't say you couldn't use them, did he? Jaime said excitedly to the mice. Feeling very pleased with herself, Jaime lay down on the floor and allowed her good friends the mice to cut her long hair. Snip, 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 the mice started cutting. Snip, snip, snip. Jaime couldn't wait. Snip, snip, snip. What a brilliant disguise. Snip, snip, snip. And it was done. Jaime sat up. She looked in the mirror and... Oh, Jaime gasped. She remained silent for a short while. She then spoke. Wow, she said to the mice, clearly very happy with what she saw. This is me. This is Jaime. Jaime smiled, for finally looking back was the person Jaime was inside. And it wasn't the hair or the suit or the pumpkin car, but it was Jaime. Jaime finally understanding who he was. And I'm a boy, Jaime said excitedly to the mice. I always have been. The mice nodded. They completely understood. And they ran up Jaime's arm to give the biggest hug a group of mice can give. It was now time for Jaime to go to the ball. And he was very excited. Chapter 3. The palace was filled with guests from far and wide, all dressed up looking very smart. They were dancing and dining, laughing and waving. Almost everybody was having a wonderful time. Everybody except the princess. She did not enjoy these parties. Nobody seemed to be just themselves. And the lazy pair she was currently speaking with, they were even worse. We have a fairy godmother, you know, who grants us lots of wishes. She can get anything we want, no need to work. The princess smiled politely and backed away from the brothers. She'd had just about enough of the party when... Vroom, beep, beep. The most spectacular car glided through the ballroom doors. It looked like a pumpkin and it expertly darted around guests until it came to a very calm stop right by the princess. Out stepped a very well-dressed young man. Hello, Your Highness. I'm Jaime. Sorry, no space outside. I thought I'd park it in here instead. Close to the dance floor that way, Jaime said with a cheeky grin on his face. He outstretched his arm, gesturing to the princess to dance with him. The other guests watched in astonishment. Really, who does he think he is? Said one of Jaime's stepbrothers, failing to recognise the boy they saw before them. I don't know, said the other. But look, the princess is clearly impressed. And it was true. The princess had very quickly taken to Jaime. She was intrigued by this young man she was now dancing with, and she wanted to know more. The pair danced and talked long into the night. The princess was captivated by Jaime, by his story, and by his honesty. Wow, said the princess. What a story. Jaime had told the princess everything, not a detail left out. I can't quite believe it, she said. What, Jaime asked. You mean you made this car by yourself? And this suit, you too? Incredible! You're very talented. Jaime began to blush at the princess's words. There's just one thing. Oh? Questioned Jaime. Well, I just can't believe you let a mouse cut your hair. The princess laughed. Jaime giggled. It was actually a few mice. Don't you think they did a good job? You know what, said the princess. I think they did. And with that, she kissed Jaime on the cheek. Chapter 4. It was the end of the night and long after midnight. Almost every guest had gone, all except Jaime and his 2 brothers. The brothers had to know more about this well-dressed young man who drove a pumpkin car. Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, said one brother to Jaime. We simply must know, who is your fairy godmother? She's done a wonderful job. What magic is this? Magic? Fairy godmother? Jaime laughed. Why, this is just me. You mean you put all this together yourself? No magic? One brother asked. No magic, Jaime confirmed. Just a lot of hard work and some help from some friends. Hard work? The brothers spat, almost fainting at the sound. No thanks. And off they went. They were no longer interested. Jaime watched as his brothers walked away. The princess spoke. Didn't you want to reveal yourself to your brothers? She said. I don't think it's necessary anymore, or even possible, said Jaime. But why ever not? Asked the princess. Jaime looked at the princess and smiled. Tonight, Jaime had felt right for the first time, and he knew this was how things would stay. Well, Your Highness, I couldn't possibly, because I'm not wearing a disguise. The very next day, when the brothers woke up, not a room had been cleaned, not a floor had been scrubbed. No meals had been made, no socks had been sewn, so they turned on the TV, but soon started to moan. Look, there's the princess gone for a ride in a pumpkin-shaped car, a young man at her side. The brothers watched on, and all they could see was a very happy princess and a boy called Jaime. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Just before I go, is there a grown-up about? Because if there is, I've got a quick message for them. Get them in the room. Come on. Just at the bottom of the screen, there's a donation link for the Pay It Forward campaign, in which Waterside and Z Arts are giving away tickets for future shows to key workers and their families, people who are missing out on these fun family times we're having right now. In the meantime, do check out our other videos while you're here, and have a lovely, lovely day, my darlings. Mwah.